Okay, so this is the room of a extremely depressed 26-year-old woman. I am not I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not afraid to admit that I have gone through hell and back. And we've talked about the past 26 years, let alone the past 2 years of me I have cake on my bed. Yes, there is cake on my bed, and I have 3 different kinds of sheet cake. Just give me 1 second. There's a second one. It's the second cake. And this is the third cake that's almost gone. You can see more trash and bags. I'm in my pajamas again because I wear pajamas all the time. I haven't showered in probably 6 months. I hardly ever brush my teeth. Hygiene is hard. It's always been hard. With the level of depression and PTSD that I struggle with on a daily basis, hygiene is not my strong point. Neither is health and other. I was just in the emergency room last night for heart issues. I have had problems with my heart as of the past couple of weeks. I've had problems with my heartbeat being too fast, being irregular, chest pains, and that's what I went to the emergency room for last night. And it was the first time I was getting medical attention for it because my clinic is really far away, and I figured because I was having heart issues on and off, walking to my clinic, if something were to happen to me in the middle of walking to my clinic or trying to get any kind of medical help somewhere by myself, that I wouldn't have been able to get medical care immediately. So, in the midst of dealing with heart issues last night to the point where I almost had an accident, it was very scary. I literally almost peed myself. It was extremely frightening. So I went in there, and there are no, as far as what they can see so far, no serious damage to my heart, but they are concerned about my stress level. They are concerned about my diet and the fact that I just got out of an abusive relationship, an update on serious family issues. I'm not jaded anymore from past abuse. We've talked about my adopted family having been extremely abusive towards me, but even from what happened last year with my dad and my brother throwing away my mom's things when my adopted mom died of cancer, and there just being a lot of anger and tension and bad things still happening last year. I'm only 1 year sober of no self-harm, which means I haven't been cutting this year, even though this year has been extremely hard for me too. I've just been doing other unhealthy things to try and pull myself out of this dark hole. And most of that has to deal with stress, trauma, my diet, like hygiene, mental health, all of the above. I was in a relationship with a man who was using me, was becoming abusive emotionally because he was in another city. So his text messages were emotionally abusive and narcissistic. And my adopted dad, who is 77 years old, and I am trying to mend the relationship with him before he dies because he had a heart attack earlier this year, and that I don't want him to go to the grave hating me. And because I'm not angry anymore from the past, even the most recent past last year, I just I don't want there to be any more anger in between us. I mended my relationship with my brother, which was extremely hard for me because he was extremely abusive too back in the day. And just all the stuff that was happening with my mom and just everybody, it's been hard. And at 77 years old, my adopted dad wants nothing to do with me. He won't call me. He doesn't want to see me. It's just so much stress that's been on weighing heavily on my life and my heart and my mind and my soul, and just some family members who act like I am the disappointment, even though trauma has slowed me down, trauma that they were a part of back in the day. See, I could have been jaded for the rest of my life because of things they did to me. I could have been angry at them for the rest of my life, but I don't want to be angry at them for the rest of my life because I know I don't want them to die hating me. Because what? I'm the disappointment of the family. I don't make a lot of money. I struggle to get by. I even struggled to get into this apartment, which is also low income. Struggled to get food stamps. I had to struggle and fight my way to get everything in life. And, as you can see, my PTSD triggers, my depression has really taken a serious hold on me. And I just wanted to show you guys before I even attempted to clean my apartment what's really been happening with me in the darkness that's unfortunately surrounded me for years. Um, Not just in the past couple of weeks, months, but most of my life, trying to heal from trauma, trying to go to therapy, trying to get my life out of a very dark place. And, it was just last year that I was still suicidal. It was just last year that I was still cutting. And only two of those things have changed, but the depression, the sadness, and the heaviness from everything else that has gone completely wrong and bad is still there. And the fact that due to my heart issues and having problems with chest pains and all that, being afraid to go to the hospital until last night, it got so scary that I was scared for my life. I literally thought I was going to die. So was rushed to the emergency room. Just everything that's been really going on with me, and trying my best to get a support system around me. And I do have some people nowadays. Back in the day, I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any family to go to because my family was hurting me back in the day. And now that I'm no longer jaded and angry at them, all I want for them, especially because a lot of my family members, when it comes to my older ones, are either moving on with their lives in terms of other things, or they're like my dad, who's 77 years old and approaching death, and not wanting them to hate me. So that's just my life. I'll talk to you guys later.